Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.
Hey, fine folks, this is Freedom Fighter, and today is Wednesday, November the 13th, 2024. This is Wiley's Wisdom Wealth Management Call, and I'm your host, Freedom Fighter. Folks, this call tonight is packed. I'm going to jump right into some quick announcements, and then we're going to get rocking and rolling because we have a lot of people, a lot of members with a lot of great information coming to you tonight from their experiences meeting with wealth managers at their bank appointments. All right. First, don't forget, Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's where we are, myself, Wiley, not only sharing golden nuggets from Wiley every day and having fun, but that is the absolute room where we break down Goldilocks' articles that are brought forth by Goldilocks every day on the RV with all of the real facts, no fiction, no foo-foo, receipts. Everything is there for you to see and vet for yourself. Then also, don't forget tomorrow, which is Thursday, the 14th, we have the Higher Learning Call with Anastasia and myself at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The topic is actually a surprise. You'll find out when you get there. But Anastasia is the one who introduced me to the RV back 12, 13 years ago. She is my spiritual angel, higher being, part human. Just amazing person. Then also, don't forget Dee's room, where Dee drops a ton of articles into her room every day related to the RV as well. And then the crypto finance room with Dave Big Dog. Also, anything related to cryptocurrency, that's the room. And then, of course, your daily podcast, Goldilocks Global Banking News, where literally, not figuratively speaking, literally thousands and thousands of people from around the world are tuning in, and hundreds of countries are subscribed to the channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Folks, tonight's call, there are several members that we're going to share. They're going to share their information with you, but just so that you know, some of you may not be aware that Wiley, actually, his experience and knowledge of wealth building, wealth strategies, not only came from his own personal participation, but Wiley had a start on his wealth journey because Wiley exchanged during the Kuwaiti RV. There's not too many people you can communicate with, know, that is still around, that participated or exchanged at any RV. But this gentleman, not only did he exchange during the Kuwaiti RV, but a lot of the knowledge and the information that he shares in the room that is for you to learn about managing and growing your wealth. He has the relationships and he's done this himself. So when he drops the nuggets into the room, I encourage you to take advantage of the information, read it, pull it to the side, go back over it. It will benefit you in more ways than you can imagine if you take advantage of it now to begin to learn it and apply it once you have your wealth, and also while you're communicating with the wealth managers and the people that Wiley is sharing with you with the questions. You're going to hear from folks tonight that have taken the questions from Wiley, and large in part, besides the fact that they've taken upon themselves to put forth the effort and execute, it's because a lot is because of the questions that they got from Wiley, and they shared it with their wealth managers and began to establish those relationships. Myself, with my background in the international banking world, I've been able to as well share a lot of that information going back to the old room. I say OOLE, not OLD, the old room, where I began to train people as well to establish the relationships. Also, I know Wiley he's so humble, he may not want me to say this, but you all may not realize that many of the terms, many of the things you hear in dinar land, when it comes to 800 numbers, when it comes to Reno and places that supposedly all these things are happening with the RV, Wiley was at the very beginning. Wiley was actually one of the very first people involved with building the dinar land community from truth. And then Wiley went away when the community sort of took a turn. But now there is a brighter light shining on the community, and we're glad that Wiley has returned. Now, like I said, you're going to hear from some folks tonight that have taken the training that we've given them, the questions that Wiley shared. And you're going to hear from folks that have established relationships directly with bankers. You're not going to hear from one member, not two, not three, not four, not five, but actually 6 members. I guess maybe one of them can be considered a couple. Not maybe, but there's a couple, Zach and Amber. So maybe you can call it 5 folks, but it's 6 individuals that you're going to hear from that were at different stages. They're at different stages of their establishing those relationships with these actual bankers, and these relationship folks with these wealth managers. These are not just people that they're going to sit and meet with at the bank and twiddle their toes under a desk. These are the individuals that are going to exchange their currencies. And not only exchange their currencies, but these are individuals that they have established relationships with, whereby they will be able to build their wealth from the currencies they have exchanged. You hear all the time in dinar land these rumors, and they actually tell you they're rumors about people meeting with banks and high-level sources, and the uncle's nephew's dog catcher met with somebody that talked to somebody at a bank. When you're going to be introduced to folks tonight, these are no rumors. These are the actual people, where those folks that you may have heard so-called bank stories once every 6-7 months, and you never hear from those people again because they didn't exist. These are individuals that you can come into the Goldilocks QFS dialogues room, and they will help you. They will share with you what they have done by following what Wiley and myself has been helping members in the room to learn, all capped off by the information that Goldilocks shares with us, and we package it all together and present it to any and every one of you. These actual people, and not only these members you're going to hear from tonight, but other members in the room who are on this journey will be more than willing to help you to establish relationships and achieve the success as well. We're going to hear from Lady Unique, who has a very unique story. Not only when she first went to, I believe it might have been her second meeting with her wealth manager, but then the fourth meeting on October the 22nd, she just so happened to take her currency with her. And the banker asked her if she had her currency, took her currency and authenticated it. And a meeting before that, they told Lady Unique that she was on their contact list for currency exchange. Tier 1 bank. Then you're going to hear from Peculiar Ram, who had her meeting today. Actually, Lady Unique had a meeting today as well. I think it might have been her fourth or fifth, actually her fifth meeting. Peculiar Ram had her first. Last week it was scheduled, but she had death in the family and she was sick. She had to reschedule for today. And oh man, she came into the room earlier talking about how amazing this meeting was. And when we share that information with you, you're going to be blown away as well. Then you're going to hear from PR. PR, just like Peculiar Ram is actually having lunch with her wealth manager, who's going to drive an hour and a half to meet with her. PR, who you're going to hear from, already had lunch with her wealth manager. And she has several private and other wealth managers and the wealth team that she's met with, whereby she has literally multiple sources with specialties to manage her wealth already in place. Then you're going to hear from Zach and Amber as well, who very, very early, they were told by the VP of a tier 1 bank that they heard from the higher ups that the RV, the dinar revaluation is happening. And after 20 years, that VP thought it was a scam, but told them, nope, we got word, it's happening. Then, and that was before they established the relationship with their wealth manager. That was maybe 3 months ago. But last week, Tuesday, they met with the wealth manager. Now they're moving to the next level of preparing themselves for their exchange and their wealth. Then you will, last but not least, the amazing, wonderful, beautiful brunette Grand, who has her team in place. She actually works in a bank, works for a bank. Folks, grab your pen, your piece of paper, have a seat, sit back, relax, enjoy what you're about to hear from these wonderful people with Wiley and myself. You ready to go, Wiley? I don't see you. There you go. You can unmute, my good man.
Hey, I'm ready to cook when you are.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hey, real quick, if I can, on the Quiddy RV thing, that was a little different because the currency actually flipped. It was demonetized, got rid of, and a new currency came in. So it's a bit different than what we're doing here. But I want people to know that it wasn't a true RV like we're looking at some of the stuff here, just if I could clarify. Also, you did a great job. And you know me a little bit, so I want to put this out there. And I normally don't talk about this kind of stuff personally. You've seen the receipts of what I can do and where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell the audience.
Absolutely.
I don't tell them where I'm at, but you know.
No. Yes.
If they stick to this plan, could they not be at the level I'm at, which is just shy of the level of people that I've talked about on my previous calls, that I rub elbows with?
Oh yeah, yes, 1,000%. And like you said, I've seen the receipts and have had communication with those individuals in those high places that are responsible for growing wealth beyond the average person. As a matter of fact, these individuals that you are connected to, that you folks you will not see or hear from in the street, on social media. They don't advertise. They don't promote. These are the folks that are of real wealth that operate in secrecy. And because of relationships, because of the relationship that Wiley has with these individuals, that is why they only will communicate with individuals like myself or someone that's not directly connected to them, because of their relationship with Wiley. I can liken it to, and this is actually what it is, an invitation only type of relationship. And Wiley, I absolutely have seen the receipts with Wiley.
I just say that because I want to encourage people that you can be where I am. And further, if you just go build this relationship, wealth management is about relationships, growing them, growing out of them, growing into bigger relationships with the same people as they move through their career. You'd be surprised. These people all are connected. They're all in that same world. They talk the same language. You want to learn this language and move with them. You will be surprised. That's why we're trying to help so many here. I'm so excited about the people that we have on this call. We have our original OGs, PR and Brunette, that started this call, that started this kind of dialogue for everybody. And I'm so happy for the folks we have coming up here just real quick and what they've done and where they're at. And mind you, they were scared to get out of the shadow and go do this and nervous and drug it out. Outside of being sick and a few deaths in the family, but they mustered up that courage and they went and did it, and look where they are. And that's all it took, was getting out of that comfort zone, being uncomfortable, as you say, being uncomfortable, going doing this and getting over those butterflies and realize these people want to help you. That's what they're paid to do, and they work for you.
And what that reminds me of, as far as to sort of as far as receipt and confirmation, Wiley, you've mentioned on several of these calls that when people establish a relationship and they begin to build their wealth, or the wealth manager and the wealth advisory helps in building their wealth, that they will outgrow the wealth manager. You've mentioned that several times.
Yeah,
and then last week, and when Zach and Amber come on, they'll share it with you all. That's exactly what the wealth manager told Zach and Amber, is that they will outgrow him, the wealth manager. That's exactly what Wiley shared with us. And that's because of Wiley's experience, folks. Oftentimes, more oftentimes than not, when something is given for free and it's so accessible and readily available, people may not appreciate it. Folks, do not allow the accessible information and free information that Wiley is sharing to have you in a situation where you don't appreciate it. Because once it's gone, once the exchange, once the RV happens, this room will be closed. you won't have access to it anymore. Take advantage of it while it's here and while Wiley is sharing it. All right. Ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, if we can we start with Peculiar Ram?
Sure. We'll start with PC, Peculiar Ram, and then we're going to come to you, Lady Unique. Peculiar Ram, you had your meeting today, and you got yourself moving. How you doing, young lady?
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Hey, Freedom. Hey, Wiley.
Good evening. How are you,
Young lady?
Superstar.
Well, Ice Cube said today was a good day. I'm very excited. I am, I don't know really where you guys want me to start at, but I did have my first official appointment. It was virtual, but I established my connection, my relationship with the vice president of a tier 1 bank. And he's also a wealth manager.
How nervous were you to get started on that? Just if I can jump in there.
I was nervous. I have been nervous. Yeah, I have been nervous, but more so because I didn't feel prepared. I didn't feel as prepared. So that's kind of like where the nervousness came from, because I was like, I don't want to just do it just to do it and not really. And like you was mentioning at the beginning, way when we first started talking about it, like don't mention the words RV and like, dinar and things like that, like these buzzwords that kind of tick them off, And so I was like, okay, well, I just want to make sure I word it the right way. I want to make sure I'm comfortable in what I'm saying, so that kind of had me.
Yeah, on your preparedness though. Were you prepared, underprepared, overprepared?
Now, I feel like I was, in a sense, a little over prepared, a little bit for my first one. I was very much prepared. I had done my due diligence. I did my research on the bank that I wanted to do my exchange at and who I wanted to do, so my future business with. So I did like my due diligence. I knew everything that that this guy was telling me as far as his credentials and his background. Like I was acting like I didn't know, but I already knew. I had like basically, stalked his whole
we're just calling him Denzel for the purpose of this call tonight.
Denzel.
So when you met with Denzel and he was answering your questions and whatnot, did he put you at ease, and were you able to have that dialogue back and forth that gave you the comfort level that, yeah, this is somebody I could work with? And also, did you check him on FINRA?
Absolutely. So yes, I did check him on Venmo. I checked everything. Okay, let me back up. First of all, he was not the original banker or wealth manager that I was set to meet. Originally last week, the week before the deaths and everything, I had reached out to a couple of bankers or wealth managers at a few places. One guy particular reached out almost instantly, not almost instantly, but the same day, and through him is where I was going to have my first official in-person appointment, which is right here locally. That's when I had personal situations come up, so I had to reschedule. When I rescheduled with the vice president assistant, or the assistant of the vice president. She reached out to me. So this was at this point a second contact that I have. So now I'm meeting different people still within the same circle, but I'm just talking to her, even though I had to reschedule. Me and her had an amazing conversation last week. So she was actually, she kind of won me over a little bit. She was very, very, very helpful. Gave me the rundown, told me that, this particular banker, he's out of the office right now, but he will be back in contact with you. So I'm like, okay, awesome. Apparently, that wasn't enough. They sent me straight to like the vice president, who's like an hour and a half away. And this is an actual like wealth group that's like the extension of this tier 1 bank. That they deal with like just the wealth clients. And so I thought I was just going to be with someone that's inside of the, the local, one of the local branches, things like that. So she pushed me even, in my opinion, further along. And so that's when the vice president reached out. So this was a totally different person. So this was like the meeting that I had today was with someone that I wasn't initially going to have one with, but I feel like is the better choice. And I feel like she knew was the better choice for me, and kind of just going ahead and push me to the wealth management side versus, going to my local branch. And these people, there's a whole team of them. It's a whole team. It's like
Yeah.
it's like 7 or 8 of them.
Well, that's the
Um,
beauty of where they pushed you. Everything
yeah,
I've been talking about, you building this relationship and having CPA and all these people associated and attorneys for
yeah,
trust and everything are all under that umbrella.
absolutely. Absolutely. So it helped me out, the kind of the switch that happened. So, but yeah, so once I realized, who he was, he has kind of like the link in the email, when we established, I sent Freedom a copy of, I was so excited. I didn't know what else to tell. So I sent Freedom a copy of when he was like establishing, well, what time we want to do the appointment. He would love to go ahead and meet now, even though it's last minute. He was very eager to meet with me. So he was like, we can call or we can just go ahead and do a virtual appointment. And I was like, absolutely. And I posted in the group like, hey guys, I have an appointment at 1. I had just really found out, like it was just that instant. So you guys were right there with me today.
Yeah, and she's all like, whoa, 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 slow down, Denzel. I don't move this fast.
Yeah. I had to get ready. I had to get ready for my virtual date, y'all. So I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, everything was, and I think being in my own home made me so comfortable. That also kind of helped for the first kind of establishing the relationship at this particular appointment. He called me actually because I had issues downloading the app, the video messaging app. So he called me just to make sure that everything was good and make sure you gonna come on, which I thought was like, well, that was really nice. That was thoughtful. And so we got on, and instantly, he has this huge big office that like overlooks everything. He looks like he's on like the 30th floor or something like that, but he's really like really chilled guy. And then from there, we just kind of talked. He asked me about myself, and he had his pen and paper. When I was telling him a little bit about myself, he's writing notes down about me. I'm writing notes down about him. So I feel like the exchange was very mutual. It wasn't, one person doing too much, the other person. It was very much mutual. And he kept reiterating if I had any questions, just to let him know if I have any questions for him. Then I asked him, I said, well, tell me a little bit about your background, tell me a little bit about your life. And, he kind of started talking. That's when, we realized that we have girls the same age, things like that, just kind of making it very, very personal. That's kind of where I'm good at.
So, you got a good personality. Yep. Use that to your advantage.
Absolutely. And so we were just talking, but a lot of the questions that I was ready to ask him, a lot of the questions that you guys have posted in the room several times, and I've kind of tweaked to kind of like my own personal vibe. But before I could even get to those questions, well, for one, a lot of those questions were answered when I was doing my research. On the bank, on this particular vice president. A lot of the answers are on the website. A lot of the questions are in like, they are being answered. So I was like, okay, well, I just want to hear how he explains it. So it was a few of them that I went over. But for the most part, in just his biography and trying to, I want to kind of say sell itself to me, he was like hitting all the key points, like everything. I was like, I'm not going to have any questions because you're literally telling me everything that I want to know, but also that I need to hear, because it was like green flags after green flag after green flag, no red flags for me. They are all about education. He reiterated that, and he's been in the business. I want to say he said 20 years with this particular tier 1 bank. He has just moved to different I guess aspects of it, move in this position that came back, and so he's back here, and he said he loves what he does. And he was eager after we got off of the phone. I mean, after we got off the phone, he sent me a follow-up email. I was actually in the group when I got the follow-up email, And Freedom did say I was going to get. I was like, should I reach out and say thank you and things like that? And Freedom was like, no, they're going to reach out. And like literally within 30 minutes, they reached out. And before we hung up, he mentioned. I said, well, how would this work, being that you're an hour and a half away? And will I be able to have access to you more than just over the phone? Will we be able to meet and things? He was like, absolutely. I come, where I'm at least 2 to 3 times a month. If I'm not there, someone from my team is always in the area that you are in. So you always have access to me or someone very close to me, and we all work together with our clients. And so he was like, but if you need anything, in between those times, just give me a call. I said, okay, Denzel. But he was like, he was like, I have no problem coming down. And he was like, as a matter of fact, I would love to meet you in person. Our next meeting can be in person. I would love to come down. We grab a bite to eat, and we just kind of, get to establish ourselves more as a, in a professional way. No rings.
I just say that because that's what Freedom Fighter told me to unique. So
no rings. Like that. But it just, I don't know. I was very pleased. I was very, very, very pleased.
Did they actually mention why you got shifted off from your first one to this guy? Was it just because this guy has the ability to take you further and farther?
I believe that's what it is. That is a question that I was thinking to myself, I wonder, should I ask? Because I did mention to him, I said, yeah, well, she, the assistant said that I would be put on such and such. And I kind of mentioned that. He was like, oh yeah. He was like, we just kind of switched it up a bit. We felt like, you being one of the clients, she spoke highly of you. And, the fact that she spoke highly of me, I feel like they did what they felt like was in the best interest of me, starting out. So that's kind of where I left it. But I am curious about that.
So
but I feel like I am getting more.
Do you not think that maybe she was interviewing you a little bit, and the way you
I feel like you know what? I feel like we both were kind of filling each other out. Absolutely, because she had the conversation with him after we talked last week, and that's what I guess prompted the decision.
And you coming prepared, knowledgeable, talking their language, talking very direct and succinctly about your plans, expectations, and wants, and where you wanted to be. That speaks volumes. She's like, oh, wow, we just need to move her on up the ladder. We just don't need to put her down here. We're going to move her on to the big boys, and we're just going to take care of her completely with the whole package. So you just got everything right there. Girl, you built your whole team in one call.
One call.
You know how huge that is?
Wow, yeah. That's exciting. I mean, the way you say it like that, yeah.
All you got to do is keep nurturing these relationships and keep growing and keep finding out what else they got for you. I mean, I'm telling you, on the other side of this, man, I'm telling you, my head would explode and theirs would too, because I'm like, hey, I need to take care of my children. I need to get this set up. I need this. I'm looking for this.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be like, oh, we can do that. We can do that. We can do that. I mean, you would be surprised what they're going to, because they're all under this umbrella.
Yes. And he mentioned that. He was like, we're all here for you. Like, we're like, he mentioned the word family, and he's just like, we're here to take care of you. You mentioned you have kids. You mentioned you want to open businesses. Like, we're here to help you with all of that. I was like, okay, I hear you, Denzel.
Now, see, this is a little different. Denzel's going to be working with you for a longer period of time because of just where you're at. You'll spend longer with them before you outgrow them. You could be there for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to definitely get all I can get out of that firm before, I decide to move anywhere.
Yeah, and it's okay to start diversifying down the road, but this is your first start, and this is amazing. And Freedom, jump in here, brother. Jump in. Yeah, for her.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, the reason that the assistant to the vice president shifted you off to sort of elevated you up the ladder, if you will, because the assistant vice president, believe it or not, her job is really to vet you. So what she's attempting to do is to determine how serious you are, to determine whether or not you'll stay with the person that you were initially going to meet with, but she determined that you required, based on you being as prepared as you were with the questions from Wiley, along with your ability to articulate yourself intelligently. It's a package of how you communicated and being prepared from the Wiley questions. That's what got you elevated to the next level.
I feel that. I really do.
So that's really, it's like I used to do that when people would try to reach out to me when I was in the international banking world. If someone wanted to talk or meet with me, I would send someone else to meet with them or talk to them first and have them come back to report to me who that person is, what it is that they want to talk about, how serious they are. So basically, it's like a reconnaissance mission on an individual to determine whether or not my time is worth speaking with them. This was when I was in the banking world. So that young lady, the assistant, that's what she did with you.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Wow.
You
Okay.
were prepared. See, and this is why, folks, the questions that Wiley is preparing, this is information from the highest level that you're getting. These are not Cracker Jack box questions. These are professional, high level questions. And actually, when like Peculiar Ram and others, when you read those questions, you become familiar with them. What happens is within yourself, you grow and evolve within your own spirit by those questions, because these are questions that you've never read before.
Yeah.
Related to the banking business. Wiley is exposing you to a whole nother world and a whole nother level of banking to prepare you for generational wealth. So if you would have went in there with, of course, guru breath and guru fufu questions about the RV and dinar and all these, the typical crap that's out there, you would have never made it to the next level of this next person that you spoke to. She would have just let you speak with that initial person, and that would have been it.
I believe that.
There would have been no follow-up, no nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. Because even after he followed up after the virtual call, she followed up with another email, like within 30 minutes of his, just thanking me and how they would love to have me as a client, as a wealth client.
Mm-hmm. They take you extremely serious now. Yeah.
Yay.
You're the client
they
want.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, y'all. I'm excited.
You haven't even deposited nothing yet. And they're like, they're coming recruiting you. And it's like the NCAA. They're coming and looking at Peculiar Ram and said, oh, come to our college. We're going to do all this for you.
Yeah, I have my poker face on. I ain't put nothing in it yet. But thank you guys so much. Honestly, I'm glad I stepped out of my comfort zone.
Well, we're glad you did as well. Are you going to be in communication with any other firms? Any other wealth management?
I have one more that I am going to talk to. But I feel like my mind is kind of set. For right now. I'm kind of set for right now. I feel really comfortable. I feel like they would take care of just by the initial how she pushed me along. Like, you have my best interest, nobody's here to waste anybody's time. And I feel like, based off of my conversation with him, I mean, he has it. He has the knowledge. He has the consistency that I'm looking for.
If I can do a recommendation, though.
Yeah.
Go ahead and seek out that other firm.
I think I am.
It's good practice. It's good to hear from somebody else on what they could offer, because down the road, you're going to start thinking about diversity. You don't have to just do business at one firm.
Right.
I
mean, I've got mine across 3 different ones, and they all perform different. but they do different things. That's why. That's why we
Mm-hmm.
look at these people, because this is all about relationships. And now
Mm-hmm.
you've got one you think you're comfortable with. It's okay to look across the fence. This ain't like dating
Right.
or having marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Right.
looking out for you and your wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying
Right.
to grow, and you want to go to where you can grow it. And it's always good to shop around a bit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna do that.
that's why I asked you, Peculiar Ram, to understand, because I can tell that you are absolutely, they did a phenomenal job, and you are absolutely impressed with them. But it's best to not have an emotional attachment immediately
Mhm.
to any of these folks.
Mhm.
And like Wiley said, you can learn something from going to meet with this other firm. You might even go meet with this other firm, and they might share something with you, and you take that note. You're like, let me go back to the first bank and ask them about this that you
Right.
learned. You know what I'm saying? Because there may be things that you didn't discuss the first time, or that wasn't brought
Mhm.
out in the first time, that may come out in this next meeting with this other firm that you can take back and further enhance on your relationship and decision making if you're going to go with them or not. And like Wiley said, that practice
Right.
is like practice. That's all. Go ahead, Wiley.
Well, we've had folks here that have learned from other folks, and they've hit me up. Hey, can I go back and ask my wealth manager that? Yes.
Yeah.
You go back to your guy and you ask that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I told him, I said, well, I will be in touch within a couple of weeks, about 2 weeks max. And now, I told him I still had some vetting to do. He said, oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
See, you go to the next one, you might meet Denzel's taller brother.
Taller single brother.
Right. Denzel got a younger brother, so you might meet him next.
Oh,
He got a little stronger back or something. You never know. So,
we could not be happier for you. I know the room's
Yeah.
happy for you. We know you've had a rough patch here,
Challenges, yeah.
issue in the family, and then you got sick on top of that. And we
Mhm.
don't present ourselves as that, and it's just like, oh, you can kind of get caught in that trap a little bit of like, I don't think I can do this. And it's
Right.
just like, oh, you got this. You really do.
Yeah, we're
And if
so
you need
proud
pep
of you.
talk, you call me.
There you go.
Thank
Yes.
y'all so much. It definitely gave me the confidence. So I definitely feel like I can do this again with ease. Like you said, with another firm, with another wealth
Mhm.
management company. So it was
It
definitely
gets
good practice.
it gets easier from here.
It does. It does.
With your personality and on the other side of this, 10 years down the road, people are going to be saying, Oprah, who?
Right. That's right.
I'll come back to this conversation in 10 years too.
I
But
see
the-
nothing but big things for you,
But-
and just you keep growing and you keep learning and you keep driving on, and you're going to be very successful.
Mhm.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Gratitude to
Absolutely.
you guys. And thank you to everybody in the chat who answers questions, who chimes in. Because if it wasn't for like Brunette Grand and all, everybody just, us just vibing and talking, I've learned a lot through them as well.
Mhm.
The quorum, things like that. So it's just like I'm appreciative. I really am. So
Yeah, we
thank you
appreciate all of them
guys.
as well. It's all
Absolutely.
support, all love. Appreciate all
That's
that.
right.
Appreciate everyone that helps.
Yes,
Absolutely.
indeed.
All right, you guys, I'm getting ready to go to work. I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself, but I'm gonna still be on the call to be listening to all the other great stories. I'm excited to hear everybody else's. I know they're
Yeah.
further along than I am.
It's okay.
It's like Screen Being wealth manager told her, it's not how you start.
It's how you finish. That's
I
right.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
You at the bank, Peculiar Ram?
I do.
Are you at the bank right now? That's where you're at
Oh
working?
no, I'm about to be there in like literally 10 minutes.
Okay.
Mhm.
When you get there, just make sure you call us and tell us what the back screen looks like.
Oh, I got y'all. Yes. Yes, I have an update. I'm gonna tell y'all.
All right.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, let's not start rumors. Hey, there's people that
All right. Drive safe, and we'll see. We'll see you when you get there.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You got it.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the number one source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.